Hi there. I'm really excited because I just got my birthday present. It's about a month late, but that's okay because the game came out, what was it, February 15th? I can't remember back that far. Anyway, I got a box. Hello. From Rinka. I had to go with Rinka this time. I normally go with Shopping Mall Japan, but I had to go with Rinka because Shopping Mall Japan had used up all of its pre-orders on this particular item. So first off, I want to show you, this will totally tip it off what it is, but it's a Rabbite plush from Secret of Mana, and I'm going to take it out of the bag. It's got huge floppy ears. Love this thing. I didn't expect it to be so big, but I'm so glad it is. And there it is. Seiken Densetsu 2 Rabbite. Or it says Secret of Mana on it too. 1993/2018 Square-Enix Limited. Very nice. And this is made by Square-Enix because they have their own merchandising department. So that's awesome. It's got this little pink tail. Wow, that's great. So I ordered that with the big item. And the big item is this. And what is this, you say? Well, it's, yes, the Secret of Mana remake. Now, I've heard a lot of bad things about this game. I went out and bought the English version. This is the Japanese only special edition version. And yeah, there's issues with it. It's creepy that they don't move their mouths when they talk, and a lot of people say the voice acting is terrible. It's not. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's terrible, but I'm not a huge voice actor from Japanese to English type of person that watches a lot of anime or all that stuff that really matters to some people. It seemed pretty par for the course to me, so maybe that's the problem. But the game plays just like the original, which has its own issues as well. I was really looking forward to a less glitchy version of the game. This has its own glitches, which, you know, introduces some problems, but it's really pretty. They did a really good job with the visuals, and I really wish they would have modernized it a little bit in the sense that you'd still have to grind a ton in the game to get anywhere, to do anything, and that was kind of a bummer for me. That, you know, here I spent all this time in 1993 through 1995. I love this game. I got all the weapon orbs because you could go into the Mana Fortress and you could fight the guys in there, and occasionally they would leave a weapon orb, so you could power up all the weapons to level 9, and some of them didn't have level 9 weapons, so it was all glitchy and weird, and we spent so much time in that game, and I didn't really want to spend all that time again in the game. So I'm going to work through it. I'm playing it with my boys, which is nice, and they're pretty into it because well, I'm into it, so they're pretty into it. But yeah, like, parts get boring, so I'll grind at night while they're sleeping, and then we play the actual story during the day with our powered up weapons and everything. But this excited me because it's almost like a special edition of the game that I never thought I'd get. Like one of my favorite RPGs on the Super Nintendo, so to have new merchandise of it is really exciting. So regardless of how this new game is, I'm excited for the merchandise. Sorry for all the plastic. It's wrapped in plastic. I'm going to open it. I'm going to open the whole thing because I'm so excited for it that I need to see all of it. This is gorgeous, by the way. The new art for the game is fantastic. I thought they did an excellent job there. The art for the game was already amazing for the Super Nintendo version, but this new version has updated everything. And I didn't think they'd go that far. Anyway, this is a white box, but it has a little graphic on it. It says Secret of Mana with the little things. I haven't seen anybody have this online yet, so. Whoa. Okay. So this is the pop-up book, and I will be opening this to experiencing this. I have a place to put anything. So, right on top, you open the box, and there you go. There's the Artbook / pop-up book, and we will be looking at that. I'm just going to set that here. Underneath that, you have the game. And then you have your little tiger suit bonus. You can get the tiger suits for the characters. And those are actually, those were originally in the game. And they're pretty advanced armors. So if you get those early, it's really advantageous. Let's see. Underneath that, you take this little piece out, and underneath that, you've got the soundtrack. So this is Collector's Edition Arranged Tracks. Oh, it's arranged stuff. And it has art from the original game. You see the flamingos there, or whatever kind of birds they are. I mean, they look like flamingos. Ooh, I might have to open that too. Because the music's great. The remix stuff is kind of weird. Some of it is good. I wouldn't say any of it's better than the original stuff, but okay, this is why I bought it. The last bit, the figures. So I have been wanting figures for this set of 3 characters forever. There's nothing else in the box. Yep, okay, and there they are. Prim, Randy, and Popoy, or Popoy. I always just called the character the Sprite. And I, way back when, I always thought the Sprite was a girl. I always want to call her because that's what I did. Because of the long hair. But it is androgynous, so. Now I am perplexed because this has a little piece of plastic on the edge, and I really want to open this, but I really don't want to open this. And they are modeled after the new look. Because if you guys remember in the Secret of Mana Super Nintendo version, in the instruction manual, everything was made of clay. So I kind of wanted those models back, but this is great too. Here I am. You know what? I'm opening the book, so I'm going to open the figures. How's that? It's my birthday. Kind of. Oh. I've committed now. I'm ripping off this little sticker, and it is being such a pain. Because I don't want it to tear the box. Not that there's really anything in the box. Okay. Open it very nicely so as not to damage the box. Yeah, even when I'm opening things, I'm pretty annoying. Okay, there's an instruction manual? Okay, there is an instruction manual for these figures. Product contains small parts, all that. Okay. Don't care. Alright. And this is weird too. There's like this plastic wrap in here. So I'm going to just get it open. Okay. They taped it here as well. Good heavens. So many deterrents. Alright, we're open now. So remove this. Oh, these are nice. Very fragile though. So there's the girl, Prim. They really gave her some robust hair in this version. And there's Randy. Looks like he should be holding that sword. Is it focusing on this? Okay. And then we have my favorite character, the Sprite. She has the attack magic. That's what makes her awesome. I love what they did with her hair. I don't know if those are like feathers on her head. It's never really explained. Such a cool figure though. I actually ended up making my own clay figure of the Sprite because it is such a great character. She's a snarky little thing. Again, I said it. The Sprite is a snarky little thing. And then you have the mana tree as a background for if you want to display the figures out of the box, which I might even do because seeing them in here is kind of... I mean, if I took the plastic out, maybe. I don't know. Oh, I put them in upside down. Not that that matters. Not at this point. I like how everything says Secret of Mana. I wonder... because I thought it was just Seiken Densetsu 2 in Japan, but maybe they had a moniker I missed or something. Whoops. Okay, now we're going to look at the art book. Let me get my scissors. Very carefully open that up. And I thought this was such a great idea, a little pop-up book. You don't see that very often. Normally it's like a steel book or an art book or something, which I have a lot of the art from Secret of Mana through the strategy guides and stuff. So that wouldn't be as cool, but here we go. Ooh. Okay, so there's like little stuff to do too. Interesting. So there's a lullabud, and there's a rabbi here. And how much of this opens up? This is kind of... I don't want to move too much of this. It looks really fragile. Interesting. There's that guy over there. Oh, what was he called? The lizard that you fight before Undine. Okay, this isn't popping out right. So you kind of pull... See, when you open the book, you pull Mana Sword out of the rock. You can see that's where, outside of Potos Village, that happens. So that is that. Interesting. I'll have to play around with this a little bit more and see. Oh, wowzers! Look at that. Flamey. Wicked. He comes out. Oh, he's flying over the world. That's pretty great. Okay. And it looks like there's one last page, and that is the Mana Tree. And that's the one that you see in the photo for this thing. And there's the birds in there. Doesn't quite fold out how you want it to. You're gonna have to force it a little bit, which I don't really want to do, but so there's the birds and stuff you see. And what you do then is place the little figures here on this rock, because then it would recreate the kind of the box art that we see on both games. So that's really cool that they made them on a tree. And I believe that's it. There's 3 pages. You take the sword, you get a dragon, you find a tree. That's it. That's the story. There's no words or anything to it. That's fine. But yeah, there's like, I don't know why that is. There's like a little rabbit in here. Okay, on the first page, there's a little rabbit underneath this bush. I'm wondering if there's something I'm supposed to do to... Oh, okay. Okay, so there you go. The rabbits are popping out of there. And I bet his tongue kind of does something maybe, I don't know. There's little pull tabs and stuff. Oh yeah, see, okay. So his tongue goes back and forth, and then over here there's a lullabud that kind of is in the grass. Interesting. Pop-up storybook. Now what I'd like to see is a bunch of gashapon for all the little characters and stuff in the game, because the enemy characters are a lot of fun in that game. I remember little ducks with army helmets on, and like pumpkins in the desert. The desert was one of my favorite areas because of the weirdness of the enemy characters. The enemy characters are so cute, you almost don't want to kill them, and then they start killing you, and then you just react. But yeah, I wonder if there's a track list on this. Not really. Anyway, that is the special edition unboxing of Secret of Mana, and I hope you guys give it a shot. You know, there's a lot of bad things being said about the remake, but if you can find the original, that'd be sweet. I think they had it. Yeah, they had it on the Super Nintendo Classic, if I remember correctly, because they left Chrono Trigger out inexplicably. But and yeah, that's limited because there's no 3-player there, and it's really great. I mean, the game excels when it's 3-player. When it's 1-player, it's pretty tough, but you can go through. But I always played it with at least 2 people, and it's one of the best RPG action games out there, I think, for a co-op. And because you know, one person's the healer, that's Prim, and one person is the attack magic, that's Popoi, and then the warrior is Randy with the sword and everything. And everyone can have all the weapons, and I think all the weapons are great. And then I always used to sit in like math class and draw new versions of the weapons and everything. That is one thing that I loved about the new game, is that the weapons, as you level them up with watts, they change. In the original game, like, the sword might have changed color a little bit, but never the actual graphic that was the sword or the whip or the spear or anything. Well, now, all those old... I'm looking for the strategy guide. I know I have it somewhere around here. All those old renditions of those weapons were in those strategy guides, so you could see what the heavy spear was supposed to look like, and you could see what the power glove was supposed to look like, but it didn't look like anything like that in the game. So now to see that in the game is really great. I would really like that if they had the armor to go with, because a lot of games these days, like Xenoblade Chronicles, kind of surprised me. When you equipped different armor, your character would look different, even in the cutscenes. So some of those ones where Shulk is like wearing just a bathing suit or something, and they're like talking about going and beating up a bad guy, that's always great. Or like they're wearing some huge feathered outfit, and you're supposed to be taking them seriously. It was really nice. So I would have liked that here. And yeah, a little bit more facial animation. I mean, they did everything but moving the mouth, which was really an odd choice. It's unnerving. But yeah, hopefully I'll play some more of the game with the boys, and the boys will think it's interesting. It's exciting when you go into a new area and you beat up new bad guys, and then you take on the boss and you win. And all that's great. But yeah, a lot of weird issues I wasn't expecting with the new one. But the old one's great if you got time. And I think that's all I have to say. Thanks for watching.